Hey Fish Fam, this is Nikachu, Merfolk Master. I'm here with my brother, and we are back to Simic Merfolk. Simic Merfolk is the way of the future. The future is now. You ever thought that Commander Speaker could be dominant in the modern Merfolk archetype? Well, that is the timeline we're in right now. So if you want to see how Merfolk is played, if you want to see how Merfolk beats all the top tier decks in Modern, don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Before we get into our deck tech, we're going to thank our sponsor, starting with the manabase.com. And the Throne of Eldraine spoilers, they're coming out in full force. Ian Makita is on the case to show you all the spoilers you want to keep up with, only on the manabase.com, your home base for everything Magic the Gathering. And the MTG Mastermind. The MTG Mastermind has the pros playing the top tier decks, playing with the top draft strategies to help you crush your modern standard and limited metagame. To learn from them, you're going to want to check out the MTG Mastermind. And I have new patrons supporting me on Patreon. Thank you all so much for your support, supporting the channel. You love supporting Merfolk content. I love giving it right back to you. So we're going to thank very much to Charles Maher and Daniel J. Haynes. Thank you so much for your support on Patreon. So here we are. We're back to Simic. If you're in a transitioning phase, it's awkward actually right now because overall I do like the Simic. I like the Simic deck. I think it's going to be good against artifacts. It's going to be good against the Whir deck, which coming out in big full force. Urza's all over the place. Urza has been winning GPs, SCG Opens. Shout out to Mohammed Caddy, who is a local here that just was part of a team that won the recent GP at GP Indianapolis.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, and he was playing the Whir deck. He picked it up just not too long ago over the summer and just crushing everybody with it. So Whir should be on your mind, and I do believe that if you play the Simic deck, you're going to have an advantage against Whir. You've got all the 1-drops. You've got so many things to start the pressure by turn 2, and on top of that, we're playing with a full set of Collector Oof, which I think is definitely a card you want to have in your sideboard. This is like the main reason to go Simic, to have that very harsh artifact hate. They can't combo off so long as this thing's on the board, so we've got Collector Oof. One problem, though, with the Simic deck, it's way worse against Burn than, say, Mono Blue Merfolk. Mono Blue playing like Curse Catcher, Full Spreading Seas, and Master of Waves. That is it's like a buy against Burn. But the Simic deck playing like lands that deal damage to us, no Master of Waves, it's a lot more awkward. It's very iffy. I don't see any clear advantage for the Simic Merfolk deck. And that makes it difficult to decide, is this clearly better right now? Because Burn is everywhere. It is super everywhere. And if you have a Burn heavy metagame, I highly suggest you go with the Mono Blue deck. And maybe over time, maybe I'll find some hybrid between Simic and Mono Blue. Like, maybe we can play Commander Speaker and Master of Waves instead of Mirror Regery and take out 2 Tidebinder Mage, play 2 more Master of Waves. Maybe that's possible. Maybe that's possible. Maybe that's something to be explored somewhere in the future. But right now, this is what we're running. This is what we're doing. So some changes. So the more I changed, the worse things got. And the more that I changed back to the list I had before, the better things got. So I played quite a bit with Thassa instead of Mirror Regery. Thassa was just straight up bad against everything that wasn't Blue-White Control or Jund. And Thassa was meant to be in the deck for Blue-White Control and Jund, but it made so many other matchups so much worse that I had to scrap it for Mirror Regery. Regery is just, it's immediate value. And against the decks that are fast, you need the immediate value. Thassa is for the long game, but there's still a lot of decks right now in Modern that are super fast, or not that everything is fast, but the London Mulligan ensures that every deck is on full force with their game plan. From turn 1 to 4, they shouldn't stumble. So there's a lot less stumbling in Modern right now. And I really need a good 3-drop that immediately puts pressure on my opponent. And I think it's going to be Mirror Regery. And so I went back to Regery and I started doing a lot better with it. It's going to be worse against Jund. but you know what? I think maybe I'm going to have to sacrifice some points against Jund. And that's all there is to it. So I played with Silver Gill Adept. Silver Gill Adept is good right now. I'm not going to say it's bad. I think in the modern, in the past, Silver Gill Adept was just straight up bad.
Video about it.
Yeah, I had a whole video about it. But right now, I do think Silver Gill Adept is good. But because I'm just ignoring the Jund matchup more or less, I want to play with something more interactive. Some of the matchups that I was having trouble against was like Eldrazi-tron, and I would hope that Harbinger of the Tides is going to help me there. And hopefully, Death Shadow is coming back. Hopefully, Harbinger of the Tides will be good there as well. So, we go to this. Is there anything else to say on the main deck? I squeezed in another Spreading Seas into the main deck, you know, for Jund and for all those other matchups where we're going to need Island Walk. That's all. I guess that's all I have to say about this. Now, a card that I don't have in the sideboard, which is Shaper's Sanctuary. I think the card is good, but I'm not sure what is the appropriate mana base to have. Like, a lot of people are playing with this exact mana base that you see for Waterlog Grove, 2 Breeding Pool, 4 Botanical Sanctum, but that's only 10 green sources, and the odds that you have a green source in your hand on turn 1 is not high enough, in my opinion. So you have to start playing with fetch lands, but once you start playing with fetch lands, now you start taking a lot more damage than you would like. And that made my burn matchup even worse. It actually, in some ways, made my Jund matchup worse all the matchups got worse because you're playing with fetch lands. It's not a good thing. I actually took out some Cavern of Souls for fetch lands, and so that actually made me worse against counter spells. So I went back to my original mana base. Can this mana base play Shaper's Sanctuary? Maybe. Like, I don't think Shaper's Sanctuary is actually that bad on turn 3. Play Shaper's Sanctuary on turn 3 and then play Lord of Atlantis. I don't think that's bad at all. But I don't know exactly what the correct mana base is for Shaper's Sanctuary, so I'm just opting not to play it. I guess, again, not trying to get any inherent advantage against Jund or anything like that. Our last Spreading Seas, 2 Deprive for the Burn matchup, and Titan Shift, which is rising in numbers. 2 Tidebinder Mage for Jund, but specifically for Burn, which is pretty big. Got our 4 Collector Oof. 2 Grafdigger's Cage. Neoform is still out there, and also Dredge is rising back up in numbers. Like, Dredge didn't really die, but it's still around. A really interesting point Lord Magicus let me know not too long ago was that he faced off against Dredge, and they have to fetch islands now for their Tomb Scour card. So for them to enable their plan now, they're playing with islands, which actually means that we have free island walk against Dredge. So I think that's going to be a pretty big bonus to us. Not to say that we're like going to side out Spreading Seas, but I think that's a good advantage to have now against Dredge, that we have more or less free island walk in that game. So we may not need as much graveyard hate as we would otherwise need. So we're playing with 2 Grafdigger's Cage, good against Neoform and Dredge. And then we've got 4 Chalice of the Void. Now, do you need Chalice of the Void here? In theory, no. But from my experience playing the leagues, it looks like I still need Chalice of the Void. And I mean, maybe this league is going to prove my point. But like, how can I put it? When I'm playing the leagues, I need Chalice of the Void. I just play against enough decks like Boggles, in fact, some sort of Living End deck, that Chalice of the Void ends up being like a bomb, or almost necessary. But I don't, like the decks I just mentioned, they're not huge portions of the metagame right now. More important is like Burn, Grixis Death Shadow, etc. So I don't think Chalice of the Void is very important, but I find that for playing the leagues, I find Chalice pretty good. One problem with playing the leagues right now is that they've merged the friendly leagues and the competitive leagues, so I don't get a really good... I don't get a clear picture what the competitive modern meta looks like. And maybe I'm just going to have to start playing modern challenges on the weekend to get a better picture of that. But as it is with the online meta, with the combined league system, and there's a lot of people, there's like 2,000 people playing, Chalice of the Void ends up being good. Like 20% of my matchups, Chalice just becomes a bomb. Just bring in all the chalices and crush my opponent. So that's my view on Chalice of the Void. Maybe 2 of them could be Dispel or more Deprives. Not sure what else it could be, but Chalice of the Void, not necessary right now. Just throwing that out there. But playing online, I find it's good for me. It's just good for me. So that's my deck tech. That's it. Let's go into our Modern League with Simic Merfolk. We won the die roll. That's rare. We'll keep this. That's pretty good. Second Aether Vial is pretty useless, but we've got Aether Vial. We can play Spreading Seas innocently enough on turn 2. Our opponent has mulliganed.
Drawn in 3.
Oh, you think so?
2.
What gave it away?
No, I'm just guessing.
It's just your... Oh. Yeah, 1 out of 30 times, you'll be right. So we start off with Botanical Sanctum to... Okay, I guess it doesn't really disguise our hand. But just in case we rip more Botanical Sanctums off the top of our deck, we're going to want to play those first before anything else. So, okay, so we're up against either Jund or Pyromancer. And I would if it's Jund, I would definitely want to take the opportunity to prevent our opponent from playing Wrenn and 6. Or just anything. If we play anything here, like Merfolk Mistbinder or Merfolk Trickster, our opponent is just free to play like Lightning Bolt or Fatal Push on it. So let's at least let's try to cripple our opponent's mana. There's the Wooded Foothills, so this feels a little bit more like Jund.
Eventually Deforestation will take away this what it is.
Well, that's an awkward draw, because I needed that last turn. I guess we can play the Speaker. Oh, it's only a 1 mana Speaker? Sorry, 1/1 Speaker? Okay, whatever. Trying to think what we can do. So I have the option to Vial in Merfolk Trickster. So I have the option to cast Merfolk Trickster and Vial in Merfolk Mistbinder at end of turn. And maybe we can put a lot of pressure on our opponent at once. Okay, that's nice. Our opponent doesn't kill the Kamena Speaker at end of turn. So what is this? Is this Jund? Is it Rakdos? Is it Mardu? Reveal yourself.
Know thyself.
Mm-hmm. It's always nice to have a Wrenn. I didn't play the Aether Vial because, well, I don't think I need a second Aether Vial on the board. It could be... it could have been vulnerable to a Maelstrom Pulse, but also it's nice having like a random card in your hand that you can be confident to discard to, say, a Kolaghan's Command or Burn.
Didn't see that one coming.
No, I did not.
You're winning the race.
Sort of want to get this Merfolk Trickster in play first.
Get everything underneath this.
It's Rakdos Burn. I guess we will pay 1 life to play this right now.
Get everything underneath this thing. It's cast, right? Aether Vial things don't get hurt? Yeah.
No,
Well,
we don't get hurt
whatever.
playing things through Aether Vial.
Yes.
Well, this is going to be difficult to get into play. So let's crack this.
What do we want? More 2 drops. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, let's attack with everything. If we trade the Mistbinder for the Eidolon, that's not bad. We'll take that exchange. Then we can play Breeding Pool tap, play our Benthic Biomancer, and then Violent Harbinger at the end of turn. Rakdos Burn.
Just gonna take it. No?
No.
Stupid
They know better.
idiot.
No, that's a good... I don't know if it's good or bad for them. Would you like to pay 2 life? Absolutely not! Not in this matchup.
Not in this lifetime.
Very likely we're just going to play the Harbinger for nothing.
Anger
No value.
of the gods in 3.
No, it's going to be... It's a burn deck. I'm like 99% sure. I've seen Rakdos burn. They're playing with Bump in the Night. It's slaughtered me before. So I like our situation. We had a good start. We had the Aether Vial to get underneath the Eidolon. See? Just as I was saying. Speaking of Bump in the Night...
It was a claymation show featured heavily on YTV in the early 90s.
Yeah. What is this claim? Return target creature card with confirmed mana cost 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Sure. That is terrible. It's going to be terrible here. So
I think this guy's goose is kind of cooked.
they're going to take at least 6 damage here. I should actually loot with Benthic Biomancer first, probably, just in case I get Mara Rejury.
Not bad.
Oh, this is great, because now if our opponent blocks, it's going to be a bad block. And they have to block. So I've seen Rakdos burn with, Eidolon, Bump in the Night. I have not seen Claim to Fame, though, so I don't know if this is good, or... I have no idea if this is stock, or this is just my opponent's own...
Somebody's got to experiment with these things.
Something. Well, they have to block. If they take too much damage, then their own Eidolon will kill them. That is true. Somebody for science needs to experiment with these things. I didn't pay blue? What's going on here? What did I pay with? Ruples?
Russian rubles, yes. Or Zimbabwean.
Oh, there's that Rajiri I was talking about, but that's okay. I would not have seen that before the draw step. Take 9 damage.
No.
No, they're like, you know what? I've seen enough, and I don't want to show you any more of our claim to fame stuff. It looks like burn. Looks like burn. That uses the graveyard somehow. Oh, yeah, I think they're playing with the new Ball Lightning. Well, in that case, we're bringing in Spreading Seas even on the draw. Do you know what the new Ball Lightning does?
No.
It's a 6/1 with haste. If it deals damage to the... Oh, and trample. If it deals damage to the opponent, they have to discard 2 cards. It's pretty good.
Only one point of damage. Only 1 defense point, whatever, toughness. And that makes it fair.
So, what do I not want? On the draw, I usually actually... okay, I'll take over Jerry. I don't know if that's entirely true if I want to do that. Usually Harbinger is good on the draw, but I'm still going to take it out. This is tough. Maybe I have to just take out all the Seas. Seas is pretty... Seas is a rough card to play with. Yeah, maybe we just go with this. Seas is very good on the play, very, very poor on the draw. I think our Chalice of the Void is going to act like our Seas on the draw. Also very clunky, but the payoff is there if it works. And I do actually like the 1-drops against burn. You know what? With Simic. With Mono Blue, I don't think the 1-drops are worth as much, but I actually think you do want to get underneath your opponent and start applying pressure, and also give yourself the opportunity to block creatures early on, and you need the 1-drops for that. Alright, so we'll...
What's a food token?
Food token?
Yeah.
They are going to be artifacts that you can sacrifice for 2 mana, and you have to tap it, and you gain 3 life. It will tear burn a new one. Is there anything else? I don't know. We'll just leave it at that. We got card view. Or I have to point this way. We got card view. That looks fine. I wish I had a few more blue. That's good. Because this is a nutrition-based matchup. We're not playing with Silvergill, which doesn't help us. Can't force a negation and Eidolon, unfortunately.
That's absent from this deck, isn't it?
What?
Force negation? I didn't see it.
Oh, you didn't see it, huh?
Oh. Whoops.
Oh, you are blind as hell.
Yeah, I wasn't even paying attention.
Yeah, I could tell that. Ether Vial on top. Well, now that is a pleasant surprise. Don't mind if I do. I think it's good. The problem is, I have already quite a few mana sources, but still, it's good to get under it. We can perhaps play a bunch of creatures at once, and then get underneath our opponent. Oh boy, that's not good. I hate Swiftspear. It's a lot harder to block Swift Spear. On the plus side, our opponent's running out of cards.
That's the thing about burn. They
Vexing Devil. Oh, you devil. I would love to take 4 damage, so that thing doesn't sit on the board for too long. Yeah, we take 3. This is not too bad. Master the Pearl Trident. Alright, I like it. I like it. The more I look at it, the more I like it. Alright, so we're not in a too bad of a spot. We're, even if with 3 cards, let's say they're all worth... Okay, let's say it's worth 10 damage. We're at 1 life right now. And we have the creatures in play to... Ah, you gotta be kidding me!
a perfect burn rollout.
I can force a negation one thing. That's interesting. What does that mean? You don't have it? What does that mean? You don't have it. Deprive. What am I going to be on? Blocking duty? Okay, I guess we'll block. Just save some life. Then do our best. Maybe double or triple or quadruple block Swift Spear. But there's definitely something to just taking the damage. And then like attack back for 6 or something this turn. Okay, so we have counter spells on the way. Okay, we're going to play very defensively right now.
Let him sweat it out.
I plan on double blocking a Swift Spear if necessary.
Ooh.
That is not... Did they discard anything? Not yet. So they know I have Deprived. They don't know that I have Force Negation. If this is the only thing I have to play around, that's good. Like, I hope I'm not playing around Gut Shot or Mutagenic Growth or some nonsense like that. Do they know I have a Master of the Pearl Trident? They might. Well, either way, that's not too bad. Alright, so we're going to get in a bunch of creatures now.
Crack that son of a bitch.
Sure. Give us more information.
You're not helping.
I didn't learn anything. 6. All right, let's attack. Because if they don't block anything, they take 7. I think I put the wrong creature in play. I think they know about our Master of the Pearl Trident.
Everybody knows about Master Pearl Trident.
So the point is, if they because I don't think they can kill us next turn. Okay, so they don't block. We deal 7 damage. They're down to 10. So that what that means is, like, what we have in play is lethal, and they cannot risk attacking into us. Or not so comfortably.
Got that Deprive.
So even if they play 2 spells, that's only worth 6 damage. We just need to prevent 1 burn spell.
Now he's done.
They can see
And
it?
he's done.
Is that it? That's it. It's over. You finished, Burn! So what did we learn about this matchup? You need Aether Vial. Aether Vial helps a lot. You need to defend. You need to take some time you need to protect, but once you protect, you need to attack. That's what they protect, they attack, and they come back. And so anyway, that was good for us. We beat Rakdos Burn, which I think it's an iffy matchup. You know, you can beat it, but they can beat us. It could have went the other way around. We had good hands. I think they had well, it looks like they had like 2 creature heavy of a hand. If they had, like, I don't know, a Lightning Bolt instead of that second Swift Spear or that Vexing Devil, things could be differently. But anyway, we won it. We're going to thank all my patrons supporting me on Patreon, and we're going to thank our sponsors, themanabase.com and the MTG Mastermind. This is Nikachu with his brother, playing with Simic Merfolk in Modern.